Hi guys, welcome back to this wonderful channel. Thank you for joining our channel. For the old subscribers and for the new ones, you're highly welcome to the family. Now I believe this soup looks delicious and attractive, so we're going to see how we cook this delicious Afang soup, the popular Mr. Afang soup. Now you might be looking at this soup that, whoa, how can I get to make this? But I had these questions a lot, so today I'm going to reveal to you how you can make your own Afang soup, maybe even make it better than I did mine, or something like this. So we'll start by cooking our washed stockfish and fish. Now you can use any protein you like. You can use more protein, less protein, whatever you have. I always tell people homemade meals means you're doing what you like. So cover that up and let it boil and cook properly. Now I put enough water so that as it's cooking, some water will evaporate. Some people start this food by frying their oil, but no, I just cook first. And that was the last of my fresh pepper going in. That was a mixture of fresh red pepper and the yellow one. Please always add yellow. It has a standout flavor it adds to your soup. But if you don't have it, no worries, go ahead. So I added some onion. Now that's my crayfish going in there, so I'll mix that up, add whatever necessary amount of crayfish you need to add. So it's crayfish, just like you can hardly do too much of it, so just get the quantity you want into it and then continue your cooking. So if you've watched up to this point, please do give this video a like, support my channel, leave your comments, let it be interactive. And so that was me trying to break in seasoning cube. Again, don't do too much of seasoning cubes, so I did that big one and one extra. You could do less, so the less the better. Instead, increase your protein and all that. So let's avoid too much of seasoning cubes. They are not too healthy when you overuse them. I always make the emphasis when I'm making my videos, please don't use too much Maggi. The moment you start perceiving the Maggi, or sorry, let me don't use the word Maggi, the seasoning cube you use standing out, then you have used too much. But you know the problem with that, if you're someone that has been using so much of it, you will not notice except someone tells you. I've walked into a place where somebody was eating and I could perceive the seasoning cube was too much. I was just feeling pity for that child. So please, let's avoid using too much seasoning cubes. It doesn't really make your food more delicious. So I added my palm oil and then covered it to allow it boil. This is it, well boiled. Now before this time, please, I always advise add every other ingredient you need, so that once you've gotten to this point it has boiled. You saw I've added my protein. All my proteins already in here. That was me tasting for salt. So at this point we are getting very close to being done with this cooking. I tell you, once you get to this point, you are almost done with the cooking. Now the preparation for this cooking is actually where the work is, but the actual cooking, you know that before you know it, it's ready. So that was me going with periwinkle. The periwinkle is optional. Some people don't like it because they say it's an obstruction in their cooking, but there are some of us that like to soak that in between. So feel free, it's once again homemade. So whatever works for you, use it. So I think for this soup I used goat meat. So if you prefer to use your cow meat, fine. Anything, want to use snail, any protein, want to do a combination of all, you are free. So like I said, I added the periwinkle because, like I said, once we got into this stage, your soup is almost ready. So I added periwinkle so it will have enough time to cook with the other proteins. So here I also decided to add more dry pepper because I felt that fresh pepper was not enough. So I added more dry pepper. So just stir and allow it to heat up. Allow it to heat up for some time, and then we'll go in with the next ingredient, and I guess you know what it is, our vegetable. Now I went in first with the water leaf. Now this water leaf is dry. I always like to use dry water leaf, please, especially when you are cooking afang in particular, this afang. So please, you'll enjoy it more when you use dry water leaf, because the other water leaf that is not the dry one, the very fresh one, there are some water leaf that has a lot of water in it. Now the risk with that water leaf is that it will come with so much water and it will be slimy. So what some people do is to wash off the slime before using it. So if you have no option, maybe you're not able to get dry water leaf like this, you wash off the slime, squeeze it out like you're washing your bitter leaf. Squeeze out the slime so that when it doesn't make your soup slimy. Afang soup is not supposed to be slimy. So that was me putting the remains of the water leaf. Then I'll stir to combine. Stir thoroughly to combine, because guess what? The main man is about to come in, and once he comes in, our soup is ready. Remember, I always like to see my vegetable fresh. Some people might like to cut this water leaf smaller than this, but I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this size because it will shrink over time in the soup. So I like it that way. So you see already, it's already like, you see when I was putting it was like, it's so much, but it's water leaf is kind of fading away, combining. So you stir thoroughly to combine before you go in with the owner of the soup. So we're about to welcome Mr. Afang leaves. So once you stirred in that, you bring in Mr. Afang. Now if you had that slimy one, if you don't want to wash it, slimy water leaf I mean, you didn't want to wash it, you could put it earlier to cook, but trust me, it's better you wash off the slime so that your soup is not behaving like it's okra soup you are cooking. So with that said, I hope you've given this video a thumbs up. So that was my afang, pounded not to smoothness. You watch my video on how I prepare my afang leaf. So I did this myself from start to finish. I prepared it myself. So now we're going to pour in the afang into the soup. Now what I was saying there is that the quantity of afang is small compared to, if you watch my video on the atama. The atama was much more than the afang. So afang has a more thickening power than atama. That's one. Two, it is hard, so it needs more water leaf compared to atama. Atama doesn't need so much water leaf as afang does. So for the same quantity of afang, for instance, okay, if some quantity of atama, you will have double the water leaf you will use for, because afang is a strong vegetable and needs a lot of water leaf to soften it. Now for people that don't use water leaf, you see that they add this thickener. The Igbos, when they use okazi leaf, they add one thickener, and they don't use so much of the okazi leaf because it's strong. So the work of the water leaf is to tenderize it, to break down the tough and add afang. So at this point, trust me, we are done cooking. You can see it's steaming hot. Even though I say don't leave your vegetables to cook, do not put it down when it's cold so your soup doesn't get sour. So stir. It's steaming hot. At this point that it's steaming hot and you've combined thoroughly, you're free to turn off the gas and your soup is ready. Please do like, share, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you for being a part of this video today. Let me know, will you try this? What changes did you make? Thank you and see you in my next one. Bye.